Greetings, Grimm here. I come to you right now with hopefully a very short video. I'm gonna try and make these not too long. So this is a group of 4 books that are not in my top 10 for 2020, but they're still very, very dear. I mean, I really like them all, and they're all, I throw out my 5 stars. But so these are 5-star reads, but they're still not in my top 10 for 2020. And I'm not going to say a lot about them, but I'm just going to show them to you. And then I'll do the same with my top 20. I probably won't, 10. Don't worry, it's just 10. And I'll show them to you too soon. But these are the runners-up. These are the honorable mentions. So let me go. I think I'm going to try and go through chronological order in which they were read. The first one is this very, very interesting long novel by Christina Stead, the Australian author who's this novel particularly has kind of gone through a bit of a renaissance. So she's Australian, and this is a brilliant work that I buddy read with Britta, and it was very interesting. And so why is it only a runner-up? So the one quirky thing about it that I still kind of obsess about silly things is that she's Australian, and to me the characters, just their manner, the way they interact, and their language, the way they speak with each other, seems very Australian to me, the idiom. And yet she was sort of coerced into setting it in America, and I really I wish they hadn't done that, because I think it sort of did mess a little bit with what she was trying to do with this amazing book. And the other issue is it's a downer of a book. I mean, it's really dysfunctional stuff. I mean, not creepy, but just the way they interact with each other, and also its parents with kids. And it's not sort of blatant abuse, but it's very psychological, and they're very flawed characters, and that can be a bit of a downer, but that's really doesn't take away from the brilliance of the book. It really is an amazing book, and I do kind of recommend it. It is very literary, and I don't think it's for everyone. But anyway, so I do recommend it, but you kind of have to know what you're getting into. That was the first one, so that was from January 2020. And then the next one, I think it was fairly recent next to it, is Ethan Frome, which I just don't think it's up there. I mean, I have to read more Wharton. I really have only read, what was the other one that I read? Not House of Mirth, but the other one, Age of Innocence. And that was better, I think. This is good, but it's almost like an exercise in she's just trying stuff out. And it's also kind of a downer of a book. May I say that? Not that it's just relentlessly depressing and sad. And the ending, oh my gosh. But tragic. So there's a hopelessness to it. But I do think it's like it's not cozy at all. It's like the opposite of cozy. But for winter, it's a very good depiction of the bleakness of winter, and then it kind of the metaphorical bleakness of people who cannot communicate with each other or won't. So it's a good work, but it's just not quite up there for me. And then another kind of great work, and I'm really glad I read it, was The Stranger. It just didn't quite make it to the top echelons of greatness for me, but it is very, very good. And, it's a classic for obvious reasons. Maybe because there's not enough, it's a pretty slim little novel. Very interesting, but, a runner-up for me, an honorable mention. And I'm really glad I read it. I read this during the readathon that we did in the summer, that I did for the first time, a kind of reading all the time type thing. And then last but not least, the Anita Bruckner. I really enjoyed it. It's it's the first one, and I do kind of want to continue. I just placed my order for the next 2 books, I think. So I really am interested in her. This one, I think it's also... I'm thinking a little bit about the Ali Smith too. I do have slight issues with when parents are mean or weird with their kids, I think. And nevertheless, this is also very good, but it's just not quite in the top 10 for me. But it was very good, and I'm really glad I got onto doing this with or just doing it after seeing Sarah and Leo do it. So thank you to both of them for starting us off with this, and I'm really looking forward to reading the rest of them. So those are my 4 runners up, and very soon I will post my top 10, and I will also try and make it as brief as possible. So let me know if you have any thoughts on these 4 books, and I will talk to you soon. Bye bye.